Welcome to another CAN diagnostic video. In today's riveting episode, we've got an ABS pump off a BMW of some description with the typical fault code 5 Delta Foxtrot 0, pump unit faulty. Typically it's not a job that I'd take on, mainly because I hate brake fluid. One of the reasons I work with lorries, there's a lot less of it. But this is for a friend of mine's friend, so it's one of them. Now these are a bastard to do, mainly because of the way they're secured with these locking tabs here. Same on the other side. I don't know if you can quite see these foldable tabs, but we need to break those off. We need to take the shoe off the actual pump, and we need to get to this pump, because that faulty pump unit, I believe, is the ferrous metal that pushes into the brushes, basically the brushes that push into the side of the commutator. So without further ado, I'm not going to show you how I'm going to grind these off, because one, it take all day, and two, it's a bit rough and ready. So I'm going to get these tabs off, and we're going to take the ECU off. I'm trying to record here, but yes, she knows I'm a champion. Right, little Dremel. All four corners. Okay, it's going to be difficult trying to show this on camera at the same time as doing it. So we just want to prise it up gently. Okay. Motor. And then we have the spindle inside. So to make sure that these bearings are not seized in here. Okay, and then we'll put this to one side for a minute, because all of this will need cleaning properly. Obviously we've got the power inputs to the motor here. Put that aside. Then we have the motor. Bearing's good. So we need to get into this part. We need to break these plastic tabs off on the inside, unfortunately. I think we get it in the vice, and I'll try actuating this motor to see if it spins. Obviously this is the motor for the ABS pump, so it will turn quite violently if everything's cushy, but hopefully it's not, otherwise, you know, pissing up the wrong tree. Okay, so you're gonna have to excuse the mess, because this is a part of the workshop that's well, messy. So what we're going to do is apply what we've got it set up at. £12 volts or 12.4. I'm going to apply a negative feed to this side and the positive to this side, and hopefully it doesn't do anything. It just click or short my power supply out, whichever. If it spins, if this spins wildly, then we know this isn't the problem. Oh, can you hear that? Swap my over, spin the pump the other way. No, that's dead. Dead as a dead. You can just about hear. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. That's seized. So turn the power supply off before I short anything else out. So I believe that the brushes are stuck against the commutator. So I need to figure out how to get into this now. Okay, so it is a task of, like this, pressing on, move it in, up, and you break. Don't want to move it too much in case we move everything back to where it should be. And obviously it's going to be difficult to come out because of the magnets. Move you out the way. Move you out the way. Move these plastic clips. That's done off this job. Right, where are they? The brushes are just in there. It's difficult to see, but I'll be able to take this. If I take this bearing off, you should be able to see it. Get this plastic piece away a bit differently. That's one of them, and that's the other. So I'm just going to try and dismantle this a bit further for you. Right, finally got the bearing off with some difficulty. As you can see, the brushes, there's quite a lot left on them, so I'm pretty sure they were just stuck in the grooves. There's a bit of a chunk took out of both of them, so I'm going to clean those up. There's a groove that's worn in quite nicely around here, so that's going to need cleaning up also. We have got a new bearing, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't have cut the other one apart. There's no major discoloration in the windings, or the magnets are still, well, obviously, very strong. So it's a case of cleaning it all up and putting a bit of grease on it, putting it back together and see if it spins, I think. So I've actually changed my mind. Looking a bit closer, it's going to be difficult to clean them up. So I've got the new ones. Customers paid for the new ones, so the new ones are going in. Simple as that. So the new brushes are installed, as you can see. Screwdriver just to keep them in place. Tiny bit of grease in each of the runners, and put it back together. See what occurs. Right. I know. Believe it or not, I've actually got a friend who's a professional filmmaker. I don't think he'd be very impressed with my photography skills. Anyway, so I put it all back together. I've put the bearing on to centralise it. Obviously, you know, the way a DC motor like this works, a brush motor, everything needs to be dead straight, otherwise it ain't going to do anything. So moment of truth. Okay, simple as that, done. Yeah, well, there's not much else really to say. I put it all back together. It's going to look a bit of a bodge because I need to arrow dot this back into place. Clean the face up on the actual, the AdBlue pump block itself. Get it all back together. But yeah, you can see just how hard this thing spins. Uses a bit of amperage as well. Righto, let's get it all back together and end the video.